something beautiful. Your products are stunning. Your packaging on point. And you've got a store that gives you this luxury experience. And then somebody goes and finds you online. They land on a website that then feels like a completely different brand. What ends up happening? They leave. And that disconnect right there is why aesthetic businesses are losing thousands of brands every single month. And they don't even know it's happening. So today we're going to be taking you through why beauty and aesthetic businesses in South Africa are underperforming online and what you could do to fix it.
Welcome back. I'm Diane.
And I'm Caitlin, and we're from Row Creative. If you run a skincare brand, a beauty salon, a boutique, a spa, basically any aesthetic-driven product or service business, this episode is specifically for you.
We're going to take you through the 5 biggest gaps that we've noticed in the aesthetic industry and show you how to turn your online presence into your biggest sales tool. Here's where we're coming from. In the aesthetic space, visual identity is not just marketing, it's at the core of the customer's decision. Think about it. People are buying into a feeling, that transformation, a lifestyle even. So if your digital presence is not communicating that at every touch point, so your website, social media, email, and even paid ads, then you're losing customers to a brand that has an inferior product simply because of superior presentation.
The first thing we're going to be talking about, Diane, is the visual brand consistency, which we know is a non-negotiable for aesthetic businesses. Things like their typography, the tone of their captions, the color palette, the photography style, even the way that their products are shot. All of these things need to look and feel as if it's coming from the same world.
Exactly, because Katie, when someone lands on your Instagram profile, they should immediately understand who you are and who you for. That first visual impression happens in under a second. So if it doesn't resonate, then you're gone.
Let's have a look at that skincare brand. They had premium ingredients, beautiful formulations, and even premium pricing. But if we had a look at their Instagram, there was a mix of inconsistent product photos, memes, and then a few lifestyle product shots here and there. But none of those had any connection.
And, looking back at their website, they had stock images that didn't even match their products, email campaigns that looked like they were designed on Word. So the product was worth every cent, but their presentation said otherwise.
But the moment that they invested in a cohesive visual identity through all their digital channels and matched their content to their brand positioning, their online sales increased significantly.
So, Katie, the point of the matter here is the product didn't change at all. The story around it did.
The next thing I think we should talk about, Diane, is content strategy. In the aesthetics industry, we've seen that the best content doesn't feel like advertising. It educates, it inspires, and it shows that transformation. Take a skincare brand, for example. Think of those before and after stories, the ingredient breakdowns, skincare routines, even just those behind the scenes of their formulation process.
Yeah, even boutiques, let's have a look at trend styling, how-to videos. All of those things are content pillars that make your audience feel like what you're giving them is value, not just another shopping opportunity, which there are plenty of. So at the end of the day, Katie, if somebody loves and trusts your content, they will buy without the need to be pushed. Talking about buying, the next thing I want to talk about is a website. So for an aesthetics brand, your website is your flagship store. So it needs to load incredibly fast. It needs to look amazing on mobile. It needs to tell your brand story, and it needs to make buying incredibly easy. Homepage, first off. It needs to immediately show a first-time visitor why your brand is worth their money. Product descriptions. You should sell the experience, not just list the features. And to end it off, your checkout process needs to be frictionless. So if any of these elements are weak or missing, you are currently converting at a fraction of what you should be.
Next, let's talk about email marketing. We've seen that this is extremely underutilized within the aesthetic space. Think of it this way. You've already got customers who love your product, but are you staying in their world? You know, a well-structured email strategy includes things like a welcome email to those new subscribers. Tell them a bit about your story. Also, things like post-purchase follow-ups or product education, exclusive offers to those customers who keep staying loyal to your brand, and even re-engagement email campaigns to target those customers who possibly haven't purchased from you in a while.
100%, because Katie, at the end of the day, email done right is one of the highest returns on investment of any digital channel. And it's a direct line to your audience that no algorithm can take away from you.
The last thing I want us to talk about is paid advertising. We've seen that Facebook and Instagram ads can be incredibly powerful for aesthetic brands when done correctly. The key is creative. In this industry, you want your ads to be scroll stopping, visually pleasing, and it needs to speak to that specific desire or pain point of your ideal customer. Whether that be, I've finally cleared up my skin, or I've found a boutique that actually gets my style. Your creative ads needs to emotionally connect in under 3 seconds. Now pair that with precise audience targeting, and you've got a machine that reliably brings in new customers.
At Rogue Creative, we work with aesthetic brands to build the full picture. We're talking brand design, visual identity, a website that looks just as good as your product, social media with a content strategy that actually grows a following, email marketing that turns a first-time buyer into a returning customer, and to top it off, paid ads that scale your revenue.
We know this industry, and we know how important it is that every digital element reflects that premium nature of those products that you are selling.
Your product deserves a digital presence that does it justice.
If your online presence doesn't match the quality of those products that you have built, go to rowcreative.co.za and get your free marketing audit today.
We'll show you exactly where the gaps are and what it would take to fix it.
The link is in the description below. Go subscribe if you haven't, because we've got industry-specific content coming your way.
See you next time. Today we're going to take you through
And I'm Caitlin at Row Creative. If you run if you run any skincare product, skincare brand, if you run a aesthetic,
we're going to take you through the 5 biggest gaps. We're going to take you through the 5
the first thing we're going to discuss, Diane, is the visual brand consistency.
Sure.
What about it? All of this needs to look and feel as if it's coming from the same world.
You know, Caitlin, you're
As if it's all coming from the same world.
yeah, you know, Caitlin, you're absolutely right.
Things like their typography, their color palettes, their photography color palettes, their typography, their photography style. First thing we're going to be talking about, Diane, is the visual.
Nets Lex talked about.
Think of it this way. You've already got products that love your products.
Products that love your clients. Say that 7 times fast. Digital presence that does it justice.
That's
Your product deserves a digital presence that does it justice. Does it justice.
if your product
Your product deserves a digital presence. I get for myself. You're so vain.
Below. Go subscribe if you haven't. Yay!
That was fun.
That was